Hey, what's up, SBC Next Gen? I know you're wondering, why does Minister Warren Hawkins III, the campus pastor of Stonecrest campus, why in the world does this dude have syrup? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Lately, I've been feeling just sticky, y'all. With everything that's going on in this year of 2020, with this new online remote learning, with just different things happening, with all these tragedies in the world, I've been feeling kind of sticky, because what we know about syrup is that syrup is sticky, right? Although syrup is sweet, although syrup tastes good, one thing that we know about syrup is that it's quite sticky. And lately, if you're just like me, I've been feeling quite sticky. And really, that's the topic of what we're going to be talking about today, right? The title of today's message is Sticking Through the Sticky. Say it with me now. Sticking through the sticky. I got a quick challenge for you, okay? If you're ready. All right. On the count of 3, I need you to say it 5 times as fast as you can. Sticking through the sticky, okay? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Sticking through the sticky, sticking through the sticky, sticking through the sticky. I messed up on the 3rd try. All right, let's try it one more time, all right? If you got through a whole thing, shout out to you. Let's try it one more time, all right? Try to say sticking through the sticky 5 times as fast as you can. Y'all ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Stick it through the sticky, stick it through the sticky, stick it through the That's a tongue twister, right? And and just as how I got stuck, while saying stick it through the sticky, that's how I've been feeling in life. And maybe you've been feeling the same way, right? Maybe you've been feeling stuck because school is online and you're just not used to it being online. Maybe you've been feeling stuck in the house. Maybe you didn't play all the video games you could play, then texted all the friends you could possibly text, right? Then did all the things you could possibly do, and you're feeling just stuck. Maybe you feel stuck simply because things are not just happening how they used to happen for your life. Maybe you're feeling stuck in so many different ways, and I want you to know that you're not alone. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to stick through the sticky. I'm not saying that life won't get sticky. What I am saying is that life will get sticky, but we got to learn how to stick through the sticky, because sticky things are going to happen in life, right? Sticky things are going to happen in life, and that is exactly what I want you all to know, right? I want you all to know that this is life, right? This is life. That sometimes life will pour out sticky things into our world, into our bowl, right? And life will pour out some sticky situations. And I want you to know that we can be like we can be like 3 things when it comes to sticky situations. We can be like the tissue that's on this popsicle stick, right? And when we face sticky situations, it could clobber us up. It can smother us, right? This tissue is not the same because it's drenched in syrup. The texture is not the same, right? It's no longer soft. It's now hard and rough, right? We know tissue is soft, right? But now it's rough, right? And many of us, when we go through sticky situations, it can make us rough. It can harden us, and it can make us grumpy and pretty much just stressed, right? Change our entire texture, right, of how we're feeling. Another way we can be is simply like this piece of gum that's on the popsicle stick, is that, once we face sticky situations, it can start to break us. It can start to break us apart. If you can't tell, the gum has been broken off, right? The pieces of gum have been broken off, and what we need to be like is really the starburst, right? The starburst that's on the popsicle stick. When the starburst goes through sticky situations, it doesn't change its texture. It still has the same texture. It still looks the exact same. Although it's sticky, although it has syrup on it, although it's went through something sticky, but you're not able to really tell. Why? Because it's able to stick through the sticky situation, right? The texture of the starburst did not change. The look of the starburst did not change. Yes, covered in syrup, but the difference between the syrup from the tissue and the gum is that the starburst is able to stick through the sticky situations. All right, so before my hands, as I'm wiping it off on, before my hands get real sticky, right? Before things get real sticky right here, I'm gonna give you pretty much 3 practical ways. Really practical meaning things that you can say, okay, these are kind of like steps are kind of like a guide, right? Are kind of like a road sign, right? You know how when driving, or if you've ever been in the car, of course you've been in the car with your parents, when you're in the passenger seat or in the back seat, or if you are old enough to drive, right? You know that green light means go, yellow light means slow down, red light means stop. So today I'm pretty much gonna give you 3 practical ways on, pretty much in a sense, you know, how to keep going through sticky situations, how to slow down and assess and think about, you know, okay, what am I going through, you know, now that I am in this sticky situations, and then how to stop and say, you know what, I need to stop doing this, I need to stop doing that. Whenever I find myself in a sticky situation, I just need to stop completely doing that, right? So when I think of the red light, green light, and the yellow light, like I said, it's more so just 3 practical steps, and just really just giving that's what today is going to consist of, right? Just 3 easy, simple steps on really how to stick through the sticky. Why? Because we all go through the sticky, right? We all go through the sticky. If you say that you ain't never been sticky, right, then you are not telling the truth, because we all find ourselves sticky and stuck, right? And really today we're going to be examining a man in the Bible who was paralyzed. If you're watching, let me hear you say paralyzed. You got to say it just like that. All right, 1, 2, 3, paralyzed, right? There was a man in the Bible who was paralyzed, and Jesus healed him. Paralyzed meaning that it's something in his body, right, that doesn't function to its normal ability or pretty much capacity, right? To be paralyzed means that maybe one's arm is maybe disabled or unable to do certain things, right? Or legs, and one is not able to walk, right? So that's what it means to be paralyzed. So this man in the Bible, he was paralyzed. All right, so we're gonna examine his story, and pretty much he found himself in a what? Sticky situation, but here's how he stuck through the sticky. All right, so I'll be reading from John chapter 5 verses 1 through 6, the New Living Translation, New Living Translation, New Living Translation version. Hey, okay, here is what it says. Afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem. They made that sound really so climactic. Afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. Inside of the city near the sheep gate was the pool with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. Wow, that's a long time to be sick. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" So there was a man who had been sick for about 38 years, which is a long time. And he was lying by a pool, and Jesus walked up to the guy. You know, Jesus walked up all cool, like, "What's good, bro? I see you've been lying here for about, 38 years, because you're paralyzed and you're sick. You're not able to move and walk by yourself. Hey, do you want to be well?" And I'm not going to lie, y'all. When I read this part of the Bible, I said, okay, Jesus, no disrespect. No disrespect. Why would you ask like, you ever been in class and somebody asks a question that it's just not a good question, right? You ever been around somebody and they just ask a good question where like it's common sense, like, duh, why are you asking that, right? Dude, like, why are you asking that question? And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, no disrespect. I was like, Jesus, this dude been sick for 38 years. He paralyzed. Now, Jesus, why would you ask someone who was paralyzed and not able to walk, do they want to be well, right? And I thought that, like, Jesus, why would you ask that question? But then as I started to examine the text, I realized, right, that Jesus asked him this simply because Jesus was asking in a way like, dude, do you even want to get well, right? And what I mean by that is it said the man was lying, right? The Bible says the man was lying by the pool for 38 years. That's a long time. This meant that the man, in order to lie on something, you got to make a blanket, right? Like think about when you lie on your bed, right? You put the cover over yourself, you got the pillow, you chilling, you kick back, right? You sleep. Like you kick back, you cooling, you set, you chill, you smooth, you relax, right? So in order for this man to be lying for 38 years, it means that he got comfortable, relaxed, chill, and cool with what? Being paralyzed. So Jesus asked him, hey, little bro, do you even want to be healed? Why? And when this goes to the first point of what I'm getting to, is that it's not permanent, right? In order to stick through sticky situations, you have to know that your situation, online learning, right, staying in the house all the time, is what? The first point is, it's not permanent, right? You got to realize that the man who was paralyzed saw him being paralyzed. I'm gonna be paralyzed the rest of my life. Ain't nothing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be paralyzed. I ain't gonna be able to walk. I ain't gonna be able to do what I want to do. I might as well just get comfortable, what? In my misery, in my pain, in my disappointment, in my hurt, in my failures. This man said, I'm so used to being paralyzed that what? I'm gonna make a bed in it. I'm gonna go to sleep in it. I'm gonna get comfortable in it. I'm gonna relax in it, right? And a lot of us right now, right, we've made a bed and we've been lying and laying down, lying meaning laying down. We've been laying down in the very thing that we know that has been, that we've been laying down in our disappointment. Maybe you've been laying down in the idea sports never coming back. Maybe you've been laying down in the idea of, oh yeah, I started college, or you know, and yeah, although it's online, or yeah, I've started school, and although it's online, that I'm never gonna get to see my friends again. I'm never gonna get to go back to school again. I'm never gonna get to do cheerleading again. I'm never gonna get to do this again. Maybe you've been laying it. No, think about that. Maybe just like the paralyzed man, how he made a pillow and got himself some cover and started hitting the Z's and in the very thing in his disappointment. Like he was laying down in his disappointment. He was laying down in his hurt. He was laying down in all his disappointments. Maybe you've been doing the same thing. Maybe you've been laying down in some things, right? And Jesus is asking you, do you even want to be healed? Why? Because you look too comfortable in being disappointed. You look too comfortable in being hopeless. You look too comfortable in being sad. You looking too comfortable in making excuses and wanting people to feel sorry for you. You looking too comfortable in the very things that you know are not good for you. You looking too comfortable hanging with fake friends. You've laid down in it, and you got it. Like, so I need us to realize that it's not permanent. And once you realize that COVID is not permanent, once you realize that certain things that are going on are not permanent, then you're gonna realize that I don't need to get comfortable in what's not permanent. So I can't tell you that. Don't get comfortable in what's permanent, right? Because don't get comfortable in what's not permanent, right? Because it's not permanent. So you don't have to just accept the fact that don't accept the idea that school's never going back to normal, or that things will never go back to the way they were, or that you will never play sports. Like, don't accept that. Why? Because it's not permanent. It's only temporary. So that's the first point. It's not permanent. And as we go to the second point, as we continue the story, in verse 7, Jesus asked him, do you want to be healed? And this is what the man said. I can't, sir. let me do a better voice than that. Jesus said, hey, little brother, do you even want to be healed? The man was like, I can't, sir. I can't, sir. The sick man said, for I have no one to put me into the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me. I have no one else to put me in the pool, dude. Like someone, every time he's making excuses, right? And that's the second point. Stop making excuses. Jesus literally asked this guy, do you want to be healed, right? Jesus said, do you want to be healed? The dude said, I can't, sir, for I have no one to put me in the pool, man. Stop making excuses. That's my second point. In order to stick through sticky situations, you got to stop making excuses. Like, even with classes right now, a lot of us have been making excuses, right? You've been thinking, oh, school is not as fun as it used to be. School is not as engaging as it used to be, right? School is, and it's causing you to feel like, oh, I don't want to do my work. I don't feel like doing my work. I don't want to do my work, right? And you're making excuses. Stop making excuses, right? Stop making excuses. Every time something comes about, you make an excuse, right? You got to stop. In order to stick through sticky situations, you got to stop making excuses, right? Oh, I'm tired of this. I'm bored, or like, you stop making excuses. In order to stick through sticky situations, you have to stop making excuses. And I want to ask you, what are you making an excuse for? Is it school? Is it friends? What are you making excuses for? Stop making excuses. And the way we stop making excuses is really by believing in ourselves. You gotta believe in yourself, right? And you gotta know that your situation is not permanent. This is not permanent. These things are not permanent, right? So stop making excuses. You got to. I remember it was one particular time in college. I waited to the last minute to do my homework. There was a research paper that we had to do. So it was like a long paper, right, that I had to write. And the teacher gave us this assignment in the beginning of the school year. And I waited to the very last day. I had about really 3 months to write it. And I waited to the very last day to do the assignment. And I did the assignment in one night, to be honest. However, my computer messed up. And I had to turn the assignment in literally at 11:59 that night, like 11:59 p.m. And pretty much before I was about to turn the assignment in, my computer started acting up. And to make a long story short, my computer ended up deleting the assignment. And I remember I was upset, I was mad. And I remember I went to my teacher the next day and I said, hey, I did the assignment and my computer messed up, and I just began making excuses. And she said, you know what, you had 3 months. Why were you trying to turn in your assignment literally 5 minutes before it was due? And I kept saying, I'm busy. I've been doing this, and I was making excuses. And that's what she said. She said, you know what? She said, you're a great student. You do all your work. However, I am not going to let you, pretty much she said, no, I'm not going to let you turn the assignment late. You have a 0 on the assignment. And instead of getting an A in the class, it went from a 98 to an 88. Right? And I had to learn my lesson to stop making excuses. Right? I had to stop making excuses. And from then on, right, I realized that, you know what? I'm going to start doing my homework early. So you got to stop making excuses, right? And a lot of us find ourselves doing the same thing. After we didn't do something or after something didn't go as we planned, we just make a whole bunch of excuses. In order to be your best self, in order for your mindset to change about the future, you have to stop making excuses. So the first thing is that it's not permanent. The second thing is that stop making excuses. And the last thing is this, as we read the the final part of this story. After the man started making excuses, Jesus told him, dude, okay, I see you not understanding what I'm trying to say. Bro, just stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. It says, instantly the man was healed, and he rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. This is John 5, verses 8 through 9. I'll say it again. Jesus pretty much got a little frustrated and was like, hey, dude, just stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. And it said that instantly the man was healed, and he rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. So the last point is to stand up. Stand up. It says Jesus told the man to pick up his mat and walk. And it says instantly, pretty much instantly, meaning as the man stood up, he was healed. And the man saw a change, not when he was laying down, but as he stood up. The man was healed not when he was still laying down, but when he stood up. Right? So I want you to know that in order for your circumstance to change, in order to stick through sticky situations, you have to be willing to stand up. Stand up. Minister Warren, what does that mean? What do you mean by stand up? Okay, do you mean stand up? No, right? I mean stand up in that way, but stand up meaning you have to stand up in positive ways. So if you're feeling sticky through sticky situations, instead of just lying on your mat, right, like the man did, disappointed, upset, making excuses, telling yourself that this situation is permanent, you have to be willing to make a change. Like, you have to be willing to stand up, right? Standing up for you may be journaling. Standing up for you is doing something positive, right? Maybe talking to your best friend on the phone. Maybe standing up for you is telling your parents when you are feeling sad. Talking to your parents, talking to your loved ones, talking to your guardians, talking to your grandma, your aunt, right? Telling somebody who you know and love right? That you are actually standing up, that when you're actually sad, right? Standing up for you may simply be taking a nap whenever you're feeling stressed. If you're feeling stressed, saying, you know what, let me woosah, let me breathe in, breathe out, right? Remember that, breathe in, let me breathe in, breathe out, right? Or let me just take a chill, a chill moment and just watch TV. Standing up for you may be thinking positive. Standing up for you may be not making excuses. Standing up for you may be, okay, I know cheerleading season is not in, but I'm going to go outside to the front, or I'm going to go practice these cheer steps in my room. Although it's not cheer season, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to imagine the audience watching me. I'm going to imagine the applause. I'm going to imagine the cheers. I'm going to imagine my parents and my family and friends in the stands cheering me on. And even in sports, right? Going and practicing. The season is not in, but that don't mean you can't practice and get better, right? That's what standing up is. When you actually try to do something different than what you've been doing the first time, like the man, when he stood up, as he stood up, he was healed. If he would have stayed laying down, he wouldn't have been healed. So I want you to know that in order for your circumstance to change, you got to be willing to do something different. You got to be willing to do something different. Right, standing up for you may be practicing your acting monologue, practicing singing, dancing, whatever is positive that will help you feel better about anything. That's what standing up is. That's what standing up is. So remember how to stick through sticky situations. If you follow those 3 steps, you will be like the starburst. And the starburst has stayed in this bowl the whole time and is still looking the exact same. Right? It's still looking the exact same. So I want you to know that, remember, in order to stick through sticky situations, you got to be, 1, right? Remember that it's not permanent. It's not permanent, right? 2, stop making excuses. And the last thing, right? Number 3 is that you have to stand up. Boom, boom, stand up. Boom, boom, stand up. When I move, you move. Just like that. So that's how you stick through sticky situations. I pray that this message has blessed you. I hope that it has really encouraged you. And remember, this is giving you 3 practical steps. 3 practical steps. And saying, okay, these are tips I can use on how to stick through sticky situations whenever I feel stuck. See you, SBC Next Gen.